You're listening to Who's Hot, the UK OCR podcast, where Will Chung, along with elite racers Becky Neal, Finley Greenley, and the occasional special guest, discuss the UK OCR series and other important races in the OCR calendar to find out who's hot.
Hello, and thank you for downloading the latest UK OCR Who's Hot podcast. This is a special bonus episode. We're here to talk about the European Championships, which are going to be in Irun, northern Spain, as north of Spain as you can get, which are happening from the 28th to the 31st of May. To talk to me about European Championships, of course, I've got my two elite runners. I've got Finley Greenley. Finley, how you doing?
I'm all good, mate. Yeah, feeling all right.
Good. And I've got Becky Neal. Becky, how are you? How was Spartan?
I'm great, thanks, Will. Yeah, my quads are just about recovered. It was hilly Henley, like you said before, after Tough Mudder. But yeah, pleased with the effort put in. Yeah, it was a hard, fast, hilly Spartan race.
Yes, congratulations on your second place, and also Tom. Not seen Tom around for a while, but Tom came and took second place too, didn't he?
Yeah, that was exciting race. You can watch it back on the short video footage, which we had some really great French rabbits, I think, chasing us.
And we have a special guest. We've got Tamar Barclay, who is Team UK team captain. Tamar, welcome back to Who's Hot.
Thanks for having me back yet again.
Oh, it's great to have you. It's always great to have you on the podcast with us. European Championships who went in Spain. I guess, Tamar, straight over to you first. How's because you were vice captain last year with Jamie Gain. This year you've kind of somehow been promoted, maybe because of how well organised you are. How has the organisation to the run up to the event been so far?
Well, it seems a lot more intense than last year. It seems that the more we're kind of understanding what we need to do, it's trying to be as organised as we can. Trying to make sure the athletes know what they're doing in advance, working with the training centres, just everything that needs to be done just seems to be all at once, though, and trying to coordinate with everyone who has to be involved with the meetings where people are doing lots of different things. But I feel we're definitely on top of it now in the final build up to it. I know Dawn's doing a lot of things behind the scene to make sure everything goes smoothly.
Yes, of course. Big shout out to everyone in the background, and also, of course, to Dawn Jollies, who's the team manager. I'm sure we'll get Dawn on at some point very soon again. So, Tamar, only 2 weeks out. I'm sure all the chat on the WhatsApp groups and everything else is just getting so excited now.
It is. The Spanish style of racing is very different to what we see in the UK, but I think a lot of athletes have raced maybe certain types of races. I know I've been and done the medieval race and Gladiators Day, and I just love that style of racing. And you can see lots of people sharing videos of things that they're training on, different types of rigs. We saw some different things within the British Champs that we had a couple of weekends ago. So it's just all very exciting.
Becky, Fid, have you done any Spanish races? I've never been to Spain to do a race, apart from Spartan and Tenerife, but that's slightly different from a proper Spanish race, I guess.
Yes, I have been to medieval race. May, not last year, but the year before. So that was, useful. We went and did the national championships. It was the same day as Overload when Russell and Das had their battle, because I remember me, Megan, Pip, Shy were watching it online from the beach in Spain after running the race. So yeah, it was. There's definitely this gauntlet towards the end. We went in the sea. There was some familiar obstacles which we'll kind of spot in the rule book as well. But yeah, there's definitely a different style. I've seen lots of people practicing certain techniques. You see a lot of the women in particular doing things with bent arms, which you don't tend to see in other parts of the world. So there's definitely more skills to be learned to help excel. But there's not only one way to complete an obstacle, everyone. And in fact, sometimes you're not allowed to do that way. Make sure you read the rules.
I have seen the rule book, and oh my god. Anyway, the European Championships, there will be the 100-meter race, the 3K race, 12K race. There'll also be teams race and the 100-meter relay race as well. So lots going on across the weekend. Tamar, let's go back to you. Let's start to talk about some of the courses, and we know. Let's start with the 100-meter. We know it's going to be very much the same as it always is. It's standardized race, but where's it going to be? And I think it's starting slightly earlier than the rest of the races too.
So they've just changed the location. It was supposed to be in a different part of the city, but is now at the same race venue at the football field. I think probably down to the actual logistics of how you host it within a city that's still running.
So Irun's on like basically the border of France and Spain as well, like North Spain, sort of Basque country. Some nice popular places on the coast around there, up in France and Biarritz, which a lot of people are traveling to. It's about half an hour away, or further south, San Sebastian, also a lovely place in the world. Some people going in via Bilbao, which is even further south. So of course you can get the ferry to there. So supposedly a useful location. Hopefully some nice weather, but yeah, that's also looking pretty variable. But yeah, the town is excited to host, I think. And yeah, some last minute changes to make sure we can accommodate everything.
I think it's always fun to have things in the town centre anyway. Do we have, Tamar, let's go at the teams. Let's have a look at the 100-meter participants that we have.
Okay. Well, hang on.
Packed schedule as well. Obviously, we've got some practice time, but for the 100 meters, which kind of starts things off. But we also, the exciting thing about Euros and Worlds and things is we have these big ceremonies, which kind of happen as we like head into the start of like the main racing parts of the week. So at like 5 o'clock on the Thursday, we've got the opening ceremony. So it's actually just after the start of the 100-meter qualifications, which is quite typical of these events. But it's really nice. We get to kind of parade as a nation. Wearing a particular t-shirt. Make sure you check the uniform guidelines. Tamar will be leading the way as captain as we kind of march out, and that's a really nice kind of moment for the whole team to come together. Yeah, it feels like you're actually going to represent your country, which is really cool, don't you think?
Definitely.
It must be fun going out to those sort of ceremonies and just being part of, the whole procession and the crowd and the atmosphere.
Yeah, and we can also see how big our team is. Like we're probably usually in the top 5 in terms of scale of the team. We'll hear all the names kind of as we go through about who we've got going, but really we are definitely one of the biggest nations, and you can really feel it in that thing. We line up in a row, and you can see who's got like the longest squad, and ours range from like the tiniest ones. We've got like often we've had 10-year-olds to 60-something-year-olds, with actually quite a few kind of representing both ends of that spectrum. So I think that's really nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's one of my favourite times of the weekend, just seeing everyone there, everyone all in their team kit, all the anticipation, the excitement, because obviously everyone's trained so hard to get there, but you then can't do anything. So you're just waiting for that moment. You can just see all the obstacles set up. You like walk around the city and you like just spot another one. And it just adds to that excitement, just everyone being there.
And then we get like a team base. The team have actually chipped in to help sponsor a team tent this year.
Ooh.
So thank you everybody who donated for that. That really helps us have like a base to obviously to keep all our kit. I was definitely grateful of that last year, crying with my leg in the air. But yeah, it's nice to have a home, and lots of people can like lend a hand if you've forgotten something, if you can't remember where you're meant to be, or you're not sure about something, or you need a bit of confidence or some feedback. It's a really kind of strong base to have.
Tamar, you've got the list up. We've managed to fill in. I'm sure no one really noticed us kind of rushing around then. Let's start to talk about, I guess, some of the names that I think we want to watch out for first, whether we're starting with the youth, it looks like here. We can start with those if you want.
Okay, so we've got a lot of names that we'll recognise. Obviously, there are some new athletes as well. I know that there's lots of the juniors especially that didn't really know about the 100 metres, and then after watching it at different events, they've decided to become part of it, which is fantastic to see. So I'll run through the list of the juniors first of all. So we've got Aaron Johns, Annie Batten, Freddie Clements, George Ferryman, Grace Gray, Henry Searle, Holly Evans, James Percy, Jane Burton, Logan Hands, Max Wildish, Maria Burton, Oliver Crossley Fordham, Robin Francis, Luca Maria Dan, Rika Roxana Dan, and Lucas Cheetham. So there's lots of names there that we've seen in the past, just picking out a few. So I know James Percy and Logan Hands have done really well in the past. I know they've been training really hard over at Lewes Tunnel, just try and work on just their different combinations, building in their skills, and just trying to get their personal best, really. So it'll be exciting to see them. I know that last time we went, seeing all the dads supporting everyone else, it was just such an amazing moment. And then we've got some newer people as well, some younger people. It's nice to see the likes of Jay and Burton. I don't know if this is his first time at the 100 meters, but I know he'll be definitely excited to show how much he's improved over this last season. And again, children like Oliver Crossley Fordham, I know he came through from Spartan, qualified to go to Sweden, had never really seen what the event was about, and now he's like, actually I can do really well at that. And again, he loves training with some of the older boys. They're like really good role models for them. So then moving on to the adults, we've got Amber Grieg, our own Andy Durrance, Beth Lodge, Izzy Baskerfield. We've got Dawn Jollies in the adaptive, Harry Hendricks as well, also racing adaptive, Harry White, Ildiko Dan, Jacob Peregrine Wheeler, Jamie Gain as well, another adaptive athlete. And then we have got our elite racers. So we've got Mila Stanzani, Tommy Matthews, Oliver Addy, and Katerina Mancini. And is Beth Lodge, I think, is racing elite, I would assume. I know she's done really well in the past.
That's awesome. We have such a strong 100-meter squad. I think it's actually one of the areas that the country has really progressed in over the years, like in terms of the size of the squad, but also the times. Like I know Beth has a mega spreadsheet which has quite a good track of everyone's kind of personal records and how many attempts they've had at different events and things. So it's actually quite useful to see just how much we're progressing, and the way that they're training together and sharing the insights and stuff has actually made a big difference. And I think this could be a year that we have even more medals. But of course, the 100 meters has got quite a lot of high pressure. It's very exciting for us to all watch it, and a lot of the team come together to watch the finals from like the crowd. But it is quite daunting, isn't it? And these athletes, no matter the age, they're all kind of really like strong-minded to be able to kind of show up and stand on that kind of teetering on the edge of your toes, ready for the buzzer to count down. So yeah, mega excited to see them perform.
I was going to say as well, I think because of that, almost with 100 meter, anything can happen. And that makes it really exciting as well. Potential upset medals for us as well. And like you say, a really strong team. I believe seeing on social media, a lot of them went out to Italy recently and was a bit of 100 meter training and stuff. So they're looking really, really strong. So hopefully, like you say, it's a real nice place for us with a real strong team. And like we talked about, especially Tommy and Ollie, the men's people. I've had now talking about Havar last year, actually seeing now my own eyes flying through, trying to match they're doing and nowhere near succeeding because they are at such an incredible level. We're really, really excited to see. And yeah, high hopes for them. And like we say, a lot of pressure on it, but they know about that pressure. They know how to deal with it, and it'll be really, really exciting. You never know. Could see some medals or even a gold there. I know that's sounding a lot, but there's definitely potential. And I think we all know that.
And welcome, Andy Durrance, Vice-Captain. Hi, how you doing, Andy?
Hi, Will. Sorry, a bit late. I didn't get the email.
No problem. No, thank you for joining us. We've just been talking about the 100 meters. I think I just saw your name on it.
Yes.
You know, I guess as an athlete, and we were talking about the pressure because everybody's watching you. Like anything could happen, good or bad. Tell me what your thoughts are when you're standing on that start line, ready to, for that buzzer for the 100 meters.
So I did the 100 meters last at the World Championships in Gothenburg. That was the first time of actually attempting it. I'd seen it. It looked fast, and I thought I've got to have a go at this. So I also did the 3K and the 12K, but still managed to get myself a silver medal. So that was pretty good. But in terms of there was some nerves going into it because I didn't have any practice. Was one thing. It was wet weather, although it did dry up on my runs, so I was grateful for that. And I've never attempted it before, but I just broke it down, and it's monkey bars, it's ninja steps, it's rings, and you just break it all down into small parts, and basically you just got to put that together. In terms of the people there cheering you on, I mean, I love that anyway. It always sort of inspires you to do well. The crowd doesn't really affect me in terms of nerves and stuff because I mean I've played football in front of 10,000 people, so
Wow.
That's going out and doing what you do in front of a couple of thousand people. I just thrive on it. I think that's what helped me get to the finals anyway. Yeah, you just got to try and block it up. Think of it, what you do. It's break each obstacle down, and then just go for it.
Can expect a good celebration at the top of the ramp then, Andy, from you.
Becky, and I did it in Gothenburg. I didn't have the breath to even get. It took me about a minute to actually get to my feet. So don't expect too much once I get to the top.
It's also exciting to watch the relay, I think, and we'll see kind of how that team emerges closer to the time. But that's really something that you can get behind because there's a bit more tactical as well. Like, who do you put where? What's the most advantage? And sometimes you don't get as many kind of attempts as that one. So it's really about kind of executing it well. And sometimes that, as we know from the longer races, like that pressure, or sometimes you just find another gear. So it's really exciting to watch. And our athletes really are fast, like lightning. And I'm excited. I think they're going to shave some more milliseconds off, or some even bigger chunks. So I'm excited to go watch everybody and see all your celebrations at the end.
The one thing that might become a bit of an issue is because they've moved the where it's being run now, so it's now on AstroTurf, and AstroTurf does, if it is on AstroTurf itself, it can slow you up. It's not like running on a hard surface. There is give in it. Obviously, I played lots of football on 5G pitches, which looks like that's what that is, a 5G pitch. It means it's got lots of bubbles of rubber in amongst the artificial grass. So that can cause slippages as well. So there might be a few issues if they run it on the AstroTurf. Obviously, people need to think about their footwear. I did put this out on a WhatsApp group for the 100 meters. Yeah, they might need to think about what footwear they're using. I'm probably going to go. I'm going to go with some trail shoes, I think, rather than something completely flat like a road running shoe.
I think the other thing that Astro as well, like you say, when you get those bits of rubber on a 5G pitch, you end up keeping them with you, and you can't really get rid of them for like the next couple of weeks. You find little bits of it in your pocket.
They're everywhere. They get
things you can't.
Yeah, they do. They get everywhere. Those things. So yeah, that would be my only concern. I doubt very much whether they'll be allowed to put something flat over the top of the surface, purely because as I said in the WhatsApp group, in the UK, you can't even walk on an AstroTurf pitch these days with flat shoes. They won't allow it. It's only like what we would term as molded studs football. They don't like you going on it with anything else. So to put boards on the pitch, I'm not sure they're going to be allowed to do that. Depends how fussy they are about it.
Probably not as fussy as the UK.
Those pitches cost a lot of money.
Yeah.
You're talking 350,000, 400,000 pounds to put a pitch down like that. So, people don't want to be ruining a pitch. I think people need to go prepared for all eventualities in that respect. But Bex, one of the best races. We were talking about people that have I went training on Sunday with down at Fit IQ, 300-meter lads.
Mm.
They are such a different level,
Mm.
and it puts things into perspective just how quick they are over these.
Mm.
But
I mean, if Finn's saying they're fast, then that is something, isn't it? Me and you can say.
I mean, in terms of speed over the ground, we were doing some speed runs, or they were. The young lads were doing some speed runs. I decided I'll join in and have a go as well. Like the distance we were covering, I think I got 4.41 was my fastest time, and only one person got under 4 seconds for that. I don't know, 30 meters, 40 meter sprint, whatever it was. So covering across the ground, they're not different to me.
Okay, so it's in the air. It's the power and the pull.
Honestly, unbelievable. Do you know the best race I've ever seen though, in 100 meters? Rebecca Cohen.
Knew it. Yes, nominated, of course, for an award at the UK OCR Awards.
It's
Inspirational.
It's not about being fast in that respect. I mean, that was just an unbelievable race, a fantastic comeback from Rebecca. Yeah.
Yeah, and we've seen comebacks in other ways. Mila's had a fantastic comeback in the European Championships last year. That video, if you've seen it, is really inspirational too. She kind of makes a mistake and comes back from like what you think is too far back and crushes it. And so I think it's about not giving up in that 100-meter race, which is definitely applicable to the other longer races too.
Yeah.
Let's move on to the 3K. This is the shorts race. I was given the rule book only a few days ago, and I first of all I just can't believe the elevation even on the 3K. So of course all the competitors have had this rule book already, but for those that haven't seen it, it's a 3K distance, 100 meters elevation gain, but at one point you are taking on a 36% slope. Then on the way down, which would be amazing, 35%. And it looks like a hell of a lot, 25 obstacles. Becky, let's go to you and I guess Tamar as well, because you've done some of the Spanish obstacles. Let's just talk about some of those obstacles. Let's talk about the penalties as well, because I'm assuming the penalty system and the ban system will also run into what the 12K race would be too.
Yeah, and we won't be able to go through all of the items today, but Tamar led a fantastic athlete call, supported by Dawn and Andy and Amelia, which you can watch if you're taking part. You've been sent the link. It's on kind of restricted YouTube, and that goes through all of the obstacles as well. So if you didn't get to watch all of that, then you can fast forward and find a spot to help. But yes, I have had some experience, and you can see it kind of starts in the town and then heads basically uphill out into the kind of forest area, with the short race of probably going to be wave sizes of about 12 people, multiple waves, and you'll find that information out soon about which wave and what time that is. But yeah, it starts with kind of like the things that split you up. Low wall carries. There's actually more carries than you might have initially anticipated across these races, and that really does kind of drain you. So it is about the all-round athlete, but we've got some kind of the low dips, the gladiators low dips. We haven't seen those since probably about 2022, I'd say, or something similar. And things like a lot of pegs. I don't know if you noticed, Will, but there's quite a lot of pegs throughout the races. There's a couple of things to iron out about exactly what you're allowed to do in things. But yes, what do you notice, Tamar? There's this medieval multi-rig, which I think I've done before, but obviously it's a different combination. But those things can be kind of long, can't they?
Yeah, that's the main thing, is that we don't know what attachments that they're going to put on. So on paper, it looks achievable, but the Spanish like to just throw something in, and it could just be simply like an upside down cone. So we've done cones before, but not an upside down cone. So then in your mind, you're then, do I skip it? Do I try and grab it? They're normally very grip intensive. So the longer rigs or just back to back, because it is, once you get back to the football pitch area, you've actually got from 16 to 25, so you've got your main bulk, like an obstacle gauntlet there, and they're one after another. And I know the races that I've done before, you've had to kind of wait in between. So you have to judge that. How long do you wait? Do you go for it and hope that your forearms don't give out? And yeah, it is just the length of the rigs, I think, will be the challenging part.
You make a good point there, Tamar, about how this might be a European Championship similar to what we saw longer ago, where you do actually see people pausing more before rigs. You know, we've kind of brought up the standard of kind of racing across Europe recently, and the completion rates have been quite good, in line with what's kind of the aim. But sometimes that comes down to people having to kind of pause, and if it's back-to-back obstacles, especially on a 3K, then you might actually not see all this rushing into obstacles and racing in and finding every second in terms of the mounting and dismounting, and instead it will be about keeping those bands. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I think, penalty obstacles out on the 3K. And then there are alternative penalties as well. So those kind of single attempt ones are the crucial ones, because you can only, well, if you remember, sort of recover 2 bands. So you have to.
Yeah, I think having the penalties at the obstacles make it a bit more achievable, because you can kind of take that risk. So things, you've got the ring reverse, vertical pegs, and Bedosa Black all back to back, which you could
9.
kind of take that risk, but obviously then the penalty is designed to tire you out more, so you then have to factor that into your race as well. I know when I did the Rumble 3K recently, I was laughing at, I think it was James Burton doing an obstacle, and then when it came to my turn of going through the proving grounds and going onto the spaghetti, I was literally crawling, trying to stretch my forearms out, and he was then laughing at me saying, "Oh, it's easy, is it?" So yeah, I feel it's going to be a lot of finger strength, forearms, grip, endurance, as well as the skill of doing different attachments we've maybe never even touched before. So I'm hoping that there will be somewhere that if they put these different fancy things, we can at least touch them and see what they feel like.
The descriptions on the rule book, you know, the box does really actually write the names of the holds, so you can glean quite a lot of information from the writing there. That is the planned rig, but the pictures don't necessarily reflect it. So keep an eye on those wordings. I like the look of the collegia. Have you seen that, Finley?
No, I've got the list up. I'm going to scroll down.
It's one of those swingy monkey bar ones.
Oh yes.
Yeah,
So
I really enjoyed that at Medieval.
I've sadly not been able to go to a Spanish race before, but like I said, I've seen a lot of photos, a lot of footage online. There's some races they've started with like a horse at the front, if I'm correct. So that might be me.
That was Medieval.
That was Medieval. So I saw that was quite a memorable thing on social media. But no, like looking through the rule book now, I'm just on a quick scroll again. It does look really exciting, and it will be a real challenging on the arms one. Proper Spanish style, like I say, it should be really exciting. And there it is. Yeah, that is.
We've seen some people practicing those kind of low rig gibbons.
Yes,
I've done that at another Italian race, but it's only kind of a couple of gibbons, which you can kind of reach from the start. So there's definitely some more complicated ones where you have to fit things into the holes which rotate and going up or across. So a bit of precision is actually going to be needed. Some things that move, like gravity, that's one of those ones where you have like the poles like nunchucks and then kind of rotating wheels and poles. So there's different ways that you have to kind of observe and anticipate the movement of the obstacle as well, which is, you know, it's going to be quite a demanding thing for the brains as well. So it's about concentration as well as grip strength.
I think as well, although I'm not out there myself, what I'm really excited for is I think a lot of time in the past of Euros, especially Worlds as well, but when we see these more European style races, I think we always seem to have an obstacle out there that catches our eye, and we nab little bits of it and put it into the UK. So I think we saw before in Belgium at the Worlds, little shuffle bars. We had that a couple of times in the UK. We've had little elements we've seen that have kind of enhanced sport here. So I think once again, going back to that kind of like low style gibbon and the pegs, I think that'll be really exciting to see. And hopefully, like I say, fingers crossed from my point of view, that might also influence us in the future as well and see that more on home soil, which would be exciting to see.
Maybe we can steal the names. The koala. The koala.
Oh, the
We'll have-
koala.
Koala
Sorry,
would be amazing,
I've
right?
got
Instead of a rope traverse, let's call it koala from everyone.
I mean, we did just on that point, Finn. We had firefighters, which that just kind of came from nowhere, and we now have that in the UK.
yeah.
As a bit of a short course specialist, Finn, and we'll start to talk about the team after this. But any particular hints, tips that you would want to kind of, I guess, share your experiences with the team?
Yeah. Although it's short, you still have time to control. That's what I would say. I think there's been times before, looking back Portugal last year, where you think it's a free K, it can be a mad dash, but at times you still have those moments to take control. So don't be too frantic with it. Free K is still a long enough distance to have slight slip up, still have a bit of control. So just make sure you're really focused there. But at the same time, rigs more than ever, they count, they matter. Failing obstacles, you could be down and out, simple as. There's a bit of pressure there as well. But I think people need to be more composed than they are aware sometimes. I think they can be a bit too frantic because of the distance. But overall, like I say, like you say, short distance is what I prefer. So it is a real rough one. But yeah, just keep yourself cool, calm. Remember, you got time to pace yourself. Look out where your competition are. Find those little gaps as well. I think a lot of the time in courses, you can find little rivets of space, little gaps you can accelerate more than your opponents. You get a lot of like back and forth there when you're competing. So you'll find your little moments really. But for that 3K, you can't often describe it, but you'll get a feeling and you'll know that. I'm hoping people listening, a lot of the athletes will know you get that kind of feeling. You're a bit quicker, you feel smooth at places. But overall, yeah, just plan it out well. Sometimes see how you go, and hopefully it all works out.
Warm up makes a big difference, I think, because
But
that forearm pump
yes, yeah.
you really got to find a way to warm up the forearms.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I you know what? I'm kind of glad I'm not doing that 3K. That just for me as a kind of an also ran, it looks absolutely horrific, but in a type 2 fun way. It just oof. Right. Let's start talk about some of the team. Tamar. Let's start with the adaptive. We have, of course, Don Jolly's team manager. Jamie Gain will be running again, and Harrison Hendricks. Again, they almost stalwarts, I guess, of the UK team.
Yeah, so Jamie Gain, when we were in Portugal, that was when he pulled his bicep but still managed to complete the course and take home gold.
Whoa.
So, you can never discount him. I know for Harrison, obviously the shorter distance, I say is easier for him. It's still going to be difficult, but I know he's got that grit and determination. We've seen that plenty of times with him. And the same for Dawn. You can never discount her on any course. She managed to do Spartan and did the trifecta. Just incredible. So it'd be great to see what she can do on this. She came with me when we went to Medieval Race. So I know she's had some experience on them, likes lots of the swingy obstacles. So it would be great to see what they can do, and a really strong adaptive team as always.
All right, shall we start with the youth then? Let's start to talk about some of our team in the youth. Okay,
so I have to mention my training buddy, Olivia Wheelhouse. This is her first Euros. I know last year she wasn't old enough to go, so now she's progressed. She'll be in the age 10 to 11 category. In Sweden, she almost completed. She literally touched the floor on the final obstacle and lost her band. But I think that's made her more determined. She loves the really swingy kind of rigs. The more difficult, the better. And she actually helps coach her mum, Vicky Wheelhouse. So yeah, just very excited. I'm sharing accommodation with her, and she's promised to be my slave as well. So I'm looking forward to that. See what dinner she's going to cook me, and yes, so very excited for her to be going. The boys in the 10 to 11 category, we've got Henry Ferriman. I think he's probably one of the oldest in that category now. We've seen him before at major competitions do really well. I know his running is fantastic. He's been on many podiums this year already. So we'll just see what he can do, really. No pressure for him, but we know what Henry's like cool, calm, and just lets his obstacles do the talking, really. he'll be standing there with some of the other guys. So we've got Jay and Burton and Jamie Dorks as well in that age group. Then moving up to the 12 and 13-year-olds. So we've got Holly Evans, Robin Francis, Adele Johns, and Alice Dixon. So it's great we've got 4 girls in that category, because I know for the teenage girls especially, that's when we can start to see them dropping off. So I know for them, they love the social side of it. And I know Robin particularly has been really working hard at Lewes Tunnel. So it'll be great to see what these athletes can do. Moving on to the 12 and 13-year-old boys, a crowd favourite with George Ferryman. He likes to complain about his running, but I know he's been working on that. We know how great he is on obstacles, just like his brother as well. So fantastic to see what he can do. We've then got Alex Millwood. We've got Cameron Young, again, another well-known name. He's done well before. And again, he's been working on his running. I used to run parkrun with him, and now, you know, we might even warm up together, and that's about it. Then he'll just run off and leave me. So we've got Freddie Clements as well, another one of Lou's youngsters coming through. Alvin, I'm not really sure I'd say his surname. We've got Zachary Hall, Oliver Hearn, and Sebastian Whitworth. Again, youngsters, I think some of them train at Lou's ones. Then we move on to the 14 and 15-year-old girls. Again, we've got 3 really strong racers. Izzy Young, Maria Burton, and Grace Gray. 3 well-known girls within the UK. They love battling it out. Izzy obviously has stepped up to the elite ladies, so it'll be really good to see what she can do against girls her own age. Moving up to the 14 and 15-year-old boys, again, another strong category. It seems like a lot of our youth racers are just raising the bar. I think having the opportunities that they have, like I say, Lou at Fit IQ has got a massive amount of youngsters. I train with a lot of the youngsters at the Wild Forest as well, PT Barn, lots of places. Obviously, Fit Body Farm has a massive amount that go to their Saturday classes. So we have Joshua Hall and Jake Jollies. They love battling it out. I know for the British Championships, they were very close. Tommy Jarman as well. I mean, he's just gone from being a boy to a man. Just the muscles on him, seeing him at Nuclear the other day, taking the win. Fantastic. And then we've got Aaron Johns in the 16 to 17-year-old boys. Moving up, we have our very own youth captain, Amelia Solomon. I know Emmy has done a lot of the medieval races, very experienced. I think she's like me, likes the warm weather. So it'll be really good to see what she can do. It's great that we've got girls in that category as well. Then our very own Ollie Addy, who says he's going to take it easy. We were having a debate about this because obviously the 100 meters is his focus, but you can never discount him. He just loves this kind of style of obstacles. He's actually been working on his running over the winter. He's actually been going to track training. He does, you know, a total of about 300 meters a session, which is massive for him. But yeah, so that's our youngsters.
And Becky, you know, we've been doing this for a few years now on the podcast. How amazing is it that that's such a lot? I think even just that junior squad is probably bigger than the first squad we ever talked about on the podcast.
Yeah, and 2 things stuck out to me. One was some of the names you said near the start, Tamar, some of the youngest ones, 10 to 11. I feel like they've been around for years. Like they've got so much experience
we've got
now.
old man Finley now, haven't we? So.
I was going to say, to be fair, I saw Ollie's name and seeing 18 to 19 next to that doesn't feel real. Seeing like, age next to him. I can't speak as well, to be honest, like you say. But
yeah, and the other thing I'm really kind of thrilled about is the 14 to 15-year-old girls, Maria, Izzy, and Grace Gray. That's a super strong lineup of young women. Like they are training hard, racing against each other. Like they've had loads of experience, all been on the podium. And how do we we've got 3 great Brits there representing in that category, and I just really hope that they love it and have a great experience and stick it out. We haven't got any girls in the 16 to 17 category. Of course, we've got Emmy and Libby as well, who are kind of that upper age group at 18. But yeah, let's kind of get them to stick at it, everyone.
Shall we move on to the rest of the squad, Tamar?
Okay, so we've got, I think he goes by the name of Tads. Again, another complicated name for me to say. Anyone know how to say it?
Shall we go for Ski Holmes?
Okay.
Apologies, Tads. Maybe you can get on, give us a voice note, and we'll make sure that we're pronouncing it correctly next time.
Yes. So again, it's great that we've got somebody, a male, representing in 25 to 29. We seem to have a bit more of an aging squad, so it's great that we've got someone in that younger category. Then for the females in the 30 to 34, we've got Georgina Quayle. I know her name's been coming up a lot lately. Charlie Jewell and Pip Rainbow. So again, another really strong category for us. I know Pip got a medal in Portugal last year. I think bronze medal, wasn't it, in the standard course. Kept her band in the short course. So often athletes will go out using the short course just to sort of test out the obstacles, and then their main race is the standard race. Then in the males 30 to 34, we've got Jake Childs and James Marigold Cash. And again, James's name has been coming up a lot lately. He's been training at PT Barn. Very fast runner, really good on the obstacles as well. So it'd be great to see what he can go out and do. Moving on to the women in the 35 to 39 category. Again, some well-known racers, really strong on obstacles. We've got Indy Miller, Victoria Wellesby and Cheryl Beach. We know that Victoria and Cheryl both train at OPP. They've been to lots of the medieval races. Victoria was sharing some of her videos from the last race where they were saying that it might be the setup for the low rig, giving us some advice on different things. So it's good to see. And I'm sure they'll be pushing each other, racing against each other. And again, like we say, those kind of tactics of knowing when to push and when to sort of let your arms recover. Then in the 35 to 39 males, we've got Zach Harper, Sam McLeish and Jacob Peregrine Wheeler. Again, our ninja, I guess, as we would call Jacob. We've seen him doing lots of parkour. He got the flag last time and he was jumping from different parts of the stadium, making all his little videos that he loves to do. Then moving on to the masters category. So I'm by myself in the 40 to 44 age group, but for the men, again, very strong. We've got Gavin Hogarth, Rob Chaplin and Das Ganella. So Das choosing to race age group rather than elite this time. Okay. And then, like I say, now we're moving on to the older categories, and it seems we're getting stronger. We've got Louise Ferryman.
We don't have to start talking about ages anymore, Tamar.
I mean, yeah, when we get to Andy's age group. But, yeah. So Louise Ferryman has won countless titles, world championships and European medals as well. Just like her boys, she's got that drive, wants to do well and loves these kind of races. So we've got Louise, and then we've got Emma McRae, slightly above average. That's a private joke for us. I once called her average and she won't let me ever forget it now. So she's doing everything she can to prove me wrong.
Like
she did that with
Spartan.
like at Spartan. So, I've been made to eat my words. So I'd gladly see her do really well. I know she's been going from strength to strength as well. So maybe being side by side with Lou will give her that encouragement. And I know when I've raced alongside Lou before, it's definitely, we've pushed each other, we've supported each other. I'm sure Lou's husband, Rich, will be there cheering on Emma. The boys will be cheering her on just as much as they are for their mum. That's the kind of family that they are, which is great. Then Moving on again to the 45 to 49-year-old men, we have Rob Border, Alex Young, Ian Solomon. We've obviously got Ramunas, who'll be there supporting Lithuania, but he will always support us. So it's great to support him as well. Alex has obviously won lots of medals before. It's again coming down to that concentration for him. Hopefully there's not too many balance beams.
There are
yeah.
lots of balance.
Well,
Harsh,
you'd have
harsh.
thought since then he'd have practiced them. You know, he's always down at PT Barn with Scotty. So,
But so we don't get lost as well.
yeah. And Ramsey, it seems that he did a race
Maybe.
and he lost a place because he went the wrong way or something. It's like they're definitely, as long as they don't follow each other, they should be all right. And then we have Ross Jarman as well. So Tommy's dad, I know what a great runner he is. And I think he's probably been working on his obstacles to try and keep up with Tommy as well. Then we move on to the 50 to 54 category. We've got a former team captain, Dean Johnson there. I know he's very excited, especially through the 3K. I was training with him at PT Barn. We're going to go and run up and down some steps. I've done it before with him last year. But we tend to go for like 4 or 5 reps. He's like, yeah, we're doing 10, aren't we? And we're like, okay, taking the rep bag up as well. And Toby Jenkin is also in that age group. Again, another very experienced racer with the Spanish kind of races. Then we move on to the 55 to 59-year-olds category. So we've got Kerry Eddy, again, stood on many podiums, very strong athlete. So hopefully we can see her doing what she does best, taking her time and getting through it, keeping those bands just slow and steady. Seems to be the right tactic for her. Then the 55 to 59-year-old men's with Jason Wright and Tony Leary. I think they will probably just be racing each other. You know, it doesn't matter who else is in their wave. They will just be going head to head, wanting to beat each other, supporting each other, but also trying to beat the other one. Then we have got 4 people in the 60 plus category. So like we say, the depth in our squad going from the 10 and 11-year-olds that we mentioned before up to this category. So Wendy Brothers, I mean, do I need to say anything about her? Everyone knows Wendy, that she just gives everything. There's lots of things that I know she'll be able to achieve here. She's very realistic, but for her, she sets her own targets, and even just being able to complete and get to the finish line is a true inspiration. And then we have our men. We've got John Barlow and Tim Kirk. I'm not sure if he's actually going. I think he suffered an injury last year, and I'm not sure he's fit enough to race. And then we've got Andy.
I spoke to him at the PT Barn, Tim, and he said he wasn't going to go.
Yeah, which is a shame. But
yeah, I did try to persuade him. I think he could still do a good time, a good run. But
yeah.
He's
because obviously yourself, Andy, with your bone on bone knee rubbing, but that doesn't stop you wanting to race everything you can.
Yeah, well, like I tell everyone, you're a long time dead, so you got to try and pack in as much as you can while you're still here. So that's where I am with it. And and I said the other day that pain is just weakness leaving your body. So they're my two go-tos.
Fantastic. And then we've obviously got our 3 elite racers. So we've got Shy. I mean, everyone's seeing how strong she's getting. 3K. I think she is a 3K specialist within the UK, really. This kind of course suits her. I know she's done a lot of Spanish races in the past. So it'll be great to see what she can do. We've got our very own Becky Neal. I mean, just smashing out everything at the moment, marathons, British champs, you name it, she's there. And then great to see for the men that we've got Johnny Hunter, again, another short course specialist, loves this kind of distance. And I mean, we said about the 100 meters, how they just approach different obstacles. Johnny's one of these as well, where he will just see a rig and he will just see a way of kind of flying through it with barely touching it, as though it wasn't there.
So I believe he was fastest Brit overall in the 3K in Portugal, I think. So yeah, definitely nice to see him there. And like you say, he really can fly, and he's looked really strong this season and at last Euros. So yeah, hopefully for him, really, really exciting.
Andy, that's a hell of a squad.
Yeah, there's I mean, all the way through, we've got strength in depth there. It's, you know, from the young ones right up to, say, my age. But yeah, I think we've got, when we looked at all the teams previously, all the athletes previously, there's so many potential medal places in amongst all this lot. So, you know, I'd be really interested to see, you know, what we actually come away with, because I think there's going to be a good medal haul here.
And that's not all. We've got the standard athletes as well. So some people, not everyone does both distances. So we've actually got additional people to that, haven't we, Tamar? It's a bit tricky to narrow it down, but I've noticed a few names there.
Yeah, so I'll try and pick out, there's lots of people who are doing both courses. I'll try and pick out the ones who I haven't mentioned. So again, we've got...
Can I just ask, is there many doing all three?
Do you mean
is it just
doing
you,
100
Andy?
meters as well?
3 and the 12.
I don't know, Andy. Is there anyone doing just 3?
Just me. I know I'm doing it. I just wondered if there's anybody else mad enough to do it.
I don't think so, because not many of the 100 meters will do the standard course. Definitely not.
You've got a relay team?
I have thought of somebody. I believe Dawn Jollies is doing all 3. Jamie Gain. So, you know, if our adaptive athletes can do them.
No, I'm nearly there. Just get that.
Is Johnny Hunter doing the 100 meters?
Surely.
Well, Andy, I did previously do all of the events, including the 100 relay, the national team relay, and the elite 100, 3K, and standard distance.
All right.
That year. So that's what you gotta reach.
Well, at the Worlds, I'm doing the 100, the 4, the 3, and the 12.
Awesome.
We'll make sure that we add you into the relays as well, Andy. Just let's complete that set for you. I've got nothing to do with team selection, but I'm just going to put your name in the hat anyway.
Thanks, Will. I don't think that'll
happen. Okay, so coming back to it, we're finished, Andy?
Yeah, go on, sorry.
Okay, so again, great to see that we've got another representative in the 25 to 29 category, so Ryan Ingram. We've then got Julie Botwood. I don't think I've mentioned her. We know what Julie's like, always there supporting her Rumble teammates, supporting everyone, actually. Like, it's always great to see and hear Julie. Really
I literally
been
heard
working
her
on
from
her
the
obstacles.
other side of the marathon, like across the streets of London with thousands of people. I was like, that voice.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you.
And that's the thing, we'll be one team, so she'll be shouting, "That's my teammate," for everyone. I'm sure she will. It's always good. We've got Kirsty Kennedy, who I know does really well at Spartans, has been working on her technical obstacles as well. I know she really likes the longer courses. We've got Wendy Orchard and Emily Spain as well. And Emily's another one that has been working really hard with Scotty at PT Barn. I know she is really good on the technical side, so if she can work on the running side as well, I think she could be right up there. So it'd be really good to see her racing with Pip. We have also got David Down in the 30 to 34 category, and Ryan Patterson. And then Grace Campbell, I don't think she was doing the 3K, was she? We know Grace with her marathon success, Spartan, I think actually looking at her times from the weekend, I definitely feel she needs to be stepping up to elite. So don't want to put that pressure on her, but she's definitely shown how capable she is. It was great to race against her at British Champs the other weekend. Yeah, definitely an up and coming athlete.
Yeah, one to watch.
Yes, and Stacey Speakman as well. I know she likes the longer course. Again, the technical side, taking slow and steady, getting through it all. And Rebecca White in the 35-39 category. We have Jason Morlam as well. I know he's coming back from injury. He's normally very good on the technical sides, but yeah, like I say, I'm not quite sure what his injury is, but I passed him at the British Champs. So hopefully he'll be able to at least enjoy the race, get through it, even if it's not quite what he was hoping for. We have got George Quinn, Matt Hughes Short, George Tranquil, Daniel Ward, and Stephen Gwand. So a big group of people there. Lots of them, I'm not really sure who they are. So I think probably their first time.
George nearly got on the podium in the Elite Men's Beast National Series on Saturday.
Wow.
He beat all the Spartan Pro team athletes. So he's just stepped up from age group, chuck some obstacles in, and we'll see how we get on.
Yeah, I think it'll be a fantastic experience, especially when you come from Spartan and then you realise that there is a whole different style of obstacle course racing. And, you know, if you're a good runner and you can work on your obstacles, then it'd be great to see what he can do. We have in the 40 to 44 category, we have Claire Bancroft, my nuclear teammate. She managed to keep her band at Sweden last year, and I know she's been training really hard. So again, it'll be great to see what she can do with the more technical obstacles. Again, another slow, steady, getting through, not rushing. We have Marion Gilbert, Kirsty Steelwell, and Vicky Wheelhouse. Then moving on to the 40 to 44 males, we have James Burton. I think, is he racing open for the 3K? Is that why he wasn't on the list? I know he likes to go out, test the course, and then he prefers the longer course. And Anthony Steelwell and Adam Wakelin. Moving on to the 45 to 49 category. Again, it seems our squad is getting bigger as we're getting older. We've got Valentina Ferrari. I know she's been racing really well for Rumble this season already. Rachel Lum. And for the men, I think it's Justin McCormick. I don't know if I mentioned him. We've got Steve Lamb as well. Everyone knows he loves playing like practical jokes on different people, especially muddy races. He'll like to put, you know, mud on your head and stuff as he's going around. He just loves anything to do with it. In the 55 to 59 category, it's great to see him having so much fun. And Anthony Mills. And then it's worth mentioning again, Becky is racing the standard course elite. She is our only elite athlete for that. So yes, what a squad.
That's a hell of a squad. It's great that we were able to mention all of the teammates that are running age group and competitive. Becky, again, I looked at this course and it looks ridiculous. So 13K, 520 meters of elevation gain, probably actually quite similar to Spartan Beast, but Spartan, of course, was much longer than that. Max uphill slope, 51%. So you're basically on your hands and knees and climbing up. Like that's not running, is it? That's just scrambling.
Yeah, and it's important to note, like, about the kind of water stations and things like that. Estimating how long you're going to be out on course is very different in OCR to any other kind of running, really, even cross country. And so you do need to kind of prepare for it to being longer than you might think, especially if you're going to be pausing and preparing for obstacles, especially if the weather is changeable, whether that's, you know, very hot or rainy. So taking things with you that you might need is important. Of course, you can't like accept anything or leave anything on the course, so you need to make sure that you are prepared with gloves, with you know, things for hot weather. Like, I've frozen bottles before and had them around my waist, helping like cool me down a bit, but and also like lasting longer to kind of ingest cold water, having enough gels and things. I think we mentioned that in the last podcast, but again, people are kind of underestimating that, and I made a conscious effort to try and do that better in Spartan this weekend. So if you are having to walk up a hill because you can't run it because it's 36%, use that time to take on a gel. If you're pushing on your legs, maybe not, but think about where you're going to do that fueling, estimate it, look at where the obstacles are. You don't want to have sticky fingers, you don't want to be like leaving rubbish on the course or anything like that. So a bit of planning, and I know Tamar's very good at that. As we heard from her, you can tell us about it if you like, Tamar, your 5-page breakdown of the course. But have a little think about what works personally for you, and don't underestimate how long it's going to take. Like, we've got balance obstacles which we can repeat, which don't take very long, but we got some serious peg obstacles, and we've also got things like multiple low rigs, which sometimes you kind of psych yourselves up for a little bit more. Quite a few carries as well, and actually on the standard race we're going to have much bigger wave sizes, and we haven't seen that at European Championships for a little while. Really, we've become more accustomed to small waves. But really, of course, what you want to do is have a head-to-head race. Like, that's the fairest way, isn't it? Like, as long as there's no queuing and everything, you want to have large waves. We did see that a little bit in Sweden, kind of go back towards that mass start of race, and perhaps some of it wasn't wide enough. But the Spanish team have put a lot of consideration into how many repeats of each obstacle within the first section there are. And then, of course, the timing between the different age group waves and things as well. So, yes, the course does look tough, well, like you say, with the elevation stuff. There's only a couple of water stations as well, so you won't necessarily have as many nice treats as you do in Spartan race or whatever, offering up for free. So make sure you think about your packing. Like, can you take that many gels if you only got hand luggage? Do you need to go to find a decathlon or a supermarket there, or can you hold luggage where you can put those in, that type of thing? Yeah. Any other tips?
I think when we do the course walk as a team, definitely, like you say, looking at things, because although rigs might seem the same, you might prefer one lane to the other, but equally you might have a lane that you want to go in, but if you're racing head to head and you don't have a choice of lanes, you may have to just go for it. So it might be ones where they're kind of mirror image of each other. So if you like to lead left-handed, there might be one that actually starts right-handed. I'm thinking the ring reverse. There might be some where you can start with your right hand and then you have to switch to left hand leading. So it's looking at all those sort of things. And that was the kind of thing in my 5-page race plan that I had for British Champs. It was more to kind of calm myself as well. I had a lot of information going on in my head, the order of the obstacles, and I wanted to know that actually by writing it down, reading through it a couple of times, that when I came to the obstacle, I would know what I'm doing. So things like the tire flips, that I know it's flipping it to one way and to the other way. So I don't get there and then I'm having to find out. Because when I went to the Spanish races, although they had the rule book, they didn't really have rules of anything. So a lot of the time I was having to get to obstacles, ask them. I can speak Spanish, but probably not enough to be able to really confidently understand everything they were saying to me. And it definitely cost me a lot of time. So I wouldn't have that time if I'm racing, trying to get on the podium. So I want to make sure everything that I can do before the race, that I do that. And one of the things that Jack Carpenter told me before, when I've kind of felt overwhelmed, he just said to me, one thing at a time. So by writing out my race plan, it was literally that one thing. So I focus on that, then I move on to the next bit.
Wise words.
Yeah, definitely, because you can get overwhelmed, I think, because obviously it's something we've been building up to. We've known it's going to be Euros in Spain, I think probably before we went to Portugal. So you kind of build it up. For some people, it will just be a fun experience, but there will be people that will be hoping to get on the podiums, and you want to kind of make the most of it. You kind of want to do what you can do, but equally you can't control other people. So if I'm looking at the people who I'll be racing against, there's some names that have beaten me in the past. But I can't control what they can do. I can only control myself. So I have to make those decisions. So I want to make sure that whatever I do afterwards, I can say I've raced the best that I have done. And whatever comes out of that comes out of it. I can't want to say, well, I kind of want to say I don't want to have regrets afterwards. There's a lot of training centres that we've been really fortunate that have put things on, especially. So I say Fit Body Farm with Gavin there. He knows what to expect. He'll be helping all the Scottish racers. I know Lou at Fit IQ has been putting on different training days. Rich has been building different obstacles specifically for us to practice on. I know Mark at OPP has been doing lots of one-to-one sessions. He's got a lot of the different setups of the rigs from the Spanish races, from all the medieval races that he's been to. Dave at Rumble as well, very knowledgeable. Like we had at the British Champs, where he would put kind of different puzzles in. So it just kind of keeps you on your toes, that anything you come across, you can deal with as an athlete. Scotty at the PT, Barney obviously hosted the Euros training day for us. I know he's been doing a lot of one-to-one sessions. I've been to the racers class there, and he just understands what it is that we need, to not come up with a race plan for us, but to just make sure we've kind of thought about it. And then obviously with Wild Forest, with having the British Champs for us, great preparation.
You can tell you're a teacher, Tamar. Recommending some revision. Finley thought that he was like all revisioned out at the moment. That's why he can't come, of course. But yeah, the lecturer and the teacher are telling us to revise. But I think you know, sometimes if you're on those the course walks with everybody, that can also get a little bit overwhelming. Everyone talking about what you should do, what you could do, and the best way to do it. And so you don't have to come on those course walks if you don't want to. If you prefer to do that on your own or with your coach or somebody else, teammate, then that also works. Don't feel like you have under pressure to do that either. Whatever works for you, right?
I think when you're on those course walks as well, I think you need to not listen to too many people, because everyone has their own way of doing things. So yeah, listen, but don't take it all in, because you still need to do your obstacle your way. So that's the only thing I would say, because a lot of people do get, I would do it one way, someone else will do it another way, and yeah, they'll think that I think that my way's best. It works for me. It should work for you. It doesn't. So just do your own thing and enjoy.
It's sometimes good as well to watch some of the earlier waves before you get to race, because it's all well and good saying, oh, I'm going to do this. But actually, once you've watched a few people go through the rig, you can decide and maybe have a backup plan if something doesn't quite go right. I definitely find that a valuable thing to do.
And of course, along with the 100 meters, 3K and the standard 12K, we have the team relays for the 100 meters and the 3K. And Becky, you just mentioned we're doing...
Well, yes. So the relays always varied a little bit between the European Championships and also the World Championships. And this is a relay. We've got the national team, so that's the men's, the women's, the mixed, and the para. And then for the first time, we have age group relay, like competitive relay. Before we had sort of competitive, and that was just, random mixture of people, usually kind of clubs coming together and friends and stuff. But this year it's categorized, and hopefully it should be awards for like 30 plus, 40 plus. So you're kind of ranked into organized into an age group from your youngest athlete. And you compete in that way. So people are able to wear their country colors and represent in those categories, as well as the national team race. But it's split into three sections: so speed, strength, technique, and then collaborative. So instead of running the whole thing together, which it has been in the past in some Euros and also not, you run kind of separate. And So that's 3 people. And the adaptive team has at least one adaptive athlete. So it's different sections and then a shorter bit together at the end, with like the transport log and things that we've come to kind of know and love, like a little koala hanging out on that one as well, and the team wall, which is always exciting to watch and dramatic to see, and was really tough actually in Sweden. And I've seen some tough walls in Spain before, just watching the races as well. So the relay will find a bit of extra on the weekend to pull that out the bag. But yes, depending on what countries enter, what combination of people, there's actually, we've been placing higher and higher. Of course, we've had a podium in the elite women's team before the World Championships in Costa Rica, and I think we were sort of 5th or 6th before in Euros and Worlds last year. So we've been creeping up. Could this be the year? We've got a squad, Tamar.
So it took us a long time to kind of put this squad together. We have put them in teams, but as always, things might change where people race. So nothing is finalized. It'll be a late night decision, usually the day before. So we have Becky and myself. We also have Pip Rainbow. We have Shy and Lou and Julie Botwood. We have our adaptive Dawn and Jamie Gain. And then for the men, we have Das, Johnny Hunter, Alex Young, and Zach Harper. So lots of racers there that have experienced racing for the national team before. Some racers, it'll be their first time.
So we're actually entering 2 adaptive teams, a women's team and a mixed team in total.
Mm.
That's a hell of a squad there. Loving that squad.
Yeah, I'm excited. But,
all right, guys. I think that pretty much wraps up our Euros preview. That is European Championships, 28th to the 31st of May over in Irun, Spain. Following along, you should be following along at British Obstacle Sports. I'm sure there'll be lots of updates on Instagram through themselves. And also, of course, at UK OCR, we'll be covering as much as we can. And of course, the rest of the British, the Team UK, I'm sure you're friends with them on Instagram, TikTok, and everything else. But I'm sure that weekend will be blowing off. I'm already getting FOMO. If by any chance, guys, if you just want to sub me in just for that final obstacle, the wall, I'm sure I can probably help with just that one. I probably can't do anything else, but I'm pretty good with pyramid scheme.
Tougher together.
My thanks as always to Finley Greenleaf and Becky Neal for being a part of this show. You can follow Finley at finley.greenleaf on Instagram, and also Becky Neal at the Runner Bean UK. My thanks to Vice-Captain Andy Durrance and to Tamar Barclay for being part of the show. As part of UK OCR, I just want to say good luck to all of the team. We will be back in July to cover the 3rd race of the UK OCR series, which is the Spartan Sprint in Midlands. That's all from me, and I will now leave you with the Team UK captain, Tamar Barclay.
To everyone who's heading out to Irun, you should be incredibly proud of what it's taken to get there. Nobody gets to represent Great Britain by accident. It's been earned through early mornings, late nights, training in the rain, the cold, the heat and the mud, and turning up on days when motivation was nowhere to be found. It's the sacrifices people don't always see, balancing training around work, family and friends, spending hundreds on races, kit, travel and recovery, and still finding a way to keep going. You've studied the rules, practiced the skills, rebuilt yourselves after setbacks, and committed to something bigger than comfort. And that's what makes Team GB special. Every athlete understands exactly what others have put in just to stand on the start line. So when you get to a run, enjoy it. Take it all in. Be proud of the vest you're wearing and grateful for the opportunity in front of you, because these moments and memories stay with you forever. And while not everyone should be there who can make the journey, they're still part of this team and will be with you in spirit every step of the way. Whether you come home with medals or not, remember this: you've already achieved something incredible by getting there. So support each other, race for each other, and represent your country with pride. Good luck, Team GB.
Ain't no glory for the faint of heart. We all stars, win or lose, we don't play the part. And when the goal getting tough, I get to going hard. You bring your best and you know I'ma tear them apart. We ready survival, rivals, I ain't got no time for anyone who wait for they no work that I do. You ain't heard about it, think I'm gonna remind you. I've been out here doing what I say, it's what defines you. This is our time, hands to the sky. You already know, I ain't gotta tell them why. Hands to the sky, this is our time. You already know, I ain't gotta tell them why. This is our house.